I want to share something with you that I stumbled across today. I stumbled across it because I was drunk. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. But I did come across something interesting. I got a little chuckle out of Mark. I got a little chuckle out of Mark on that, yeah. I'm all about sharing interesting things with you that I come across. And this was interesting. I was doing, as I always do, doing research for the show. I spend several hours preparing for it. I know you can't really tell that as I'm doing the show, but I actually do prepare some of this material in advance, right? And so I'm looking at YouTube and checking out various things, and an ad pops up. Now, remember a couple of days ago, we were talking about Democrat Ron Barber, now running for re-election to Congress in Arizona District 2, and how Republican claims that he's a lapdog for the liberal causes have been evolving. One ad, and I played it to you, said that he had voted with his party 76% of the time, hinting that, that's just out of control. Didn't seem so radical to me, as we talked about, because it isn't, okay? But the next ad hiked the figure up to 88% of the time that they claim that he votes with his party. Now, neither of those ads came from the McSally campaign. I want to hasten to say that. I found stats for you showing that Barber actually is the most independent of our southern Arizona congressmen. Today, and this would be Thursday for those of you listening on Friday morning, I have to get these today references out. I made an interesting discovery in connection with all this. It popped up on YouTube when I was trying to see a video, and I managed to find it later and record it. So I want you to take a listen to it. This is a attack ad aimed at Ron Barber, and listen to what it says about how he votes with his party.
Oh, hey. Now, I know what you're thinking. Another ad. But hear me out. Representative Ron Barber says he puts you first, but he votes with Obama most of the time. That's for more spending, more debt. Obamacare? Come on. We have to put up with Obama for 2 more years, but we can fire Barber now. Let's fire Ron Barber. Okay, here's your video.
Okay, got that? Now, Ron, this is obviously, by the way, this was made just for YouTube. You can tell. Here's your video, right? Because they know you're waiting to see whatever it is you clicked on, right? So did you get what they said? Ron Barber votes with Obama most of the time. Emphasis on the words most of the time. Now, hold that thought. Now, people who pay for these ads tend to target only those incumbents they think might be vulnerable. So you're not going to see an ad like this aimed at, for instance, Raul Grijalva, more than likely. But here's one that slams Congresswoman Ann Kirkpatrick.
Oh, hey. Now, I know what you're thinking. Another ad. But hear me out. Representative Ann Kirkpatrick says she puts you first, but she votes with Obama 77% of the time. 77%. That's for more spending, more debt. Obamacare? Come on. We have to put up with Obama for 2 more years. But we can fire Kirkpatrick now. Let's fire Ann Kirkpatrick. Okay? Here's your video.
Obamacare. Come on. Here's your video. Now, what'd you hear? According to the ad, Ann Kirkpatrick votes with Obama 77% of the time. Everything else in the ad was exactly the same as the previous ad that I played you. Everything. Same intro. Same 50-something white dude in a casual shirt who starts off looking into the camera as if he's not sure it's on, and then is startled to find out that it is and said, oh, hey, right? Same outro, just the middle was different. To be precise, just the middle 7 seconds of each 30-second spot was different. It's customized to the candidate being attacked. The material on either side of the center was identical. It was boilerplate. For that reason, this is what's known in the business as a donut or a wraparound. Let's hear another.
Oh, hey. Now, I know what you're thinking. Another ad. But hear me out. Senator Mark Pryor says he puts you first, but he votes with Obama 90% of the time. 90%. That's for more spending, more debt. Obamacare? Come on. We have to put up with Obama for 2 more years. But we can fire Pryor now. Let's fire Mark Pryor. Okay, here's your video.
Got that? Now, this one is aimed at a congressman in another state, Arkansas, Senator Mark Pryor of Arkansas. It says he stooges for President Obama 90% of the time. Wait a minute, though. They're not done. This is going on. This is aimed at congressmen all over the country. Here's another one.
Oh, hey. Now, I know what you're thinking. Another ad. But hear me out. Senator Kay Hagan says she puts you first, but she votes with Obama 96% of the time. 96%. That's for more spending, more debt. Obamacare? Come on. We have to put up with Obama for 2 more years. We can fire Hagan now. Let's fire Kay Hagan. Okay? Here's your video.
Let's fire Kay Hagan. Okay? Here's your video. Senator Kay Hagan, a puppet for Obama 96% of the time, so says the ad. Hagan represents North Carolina. And by now, I think you're starting to see how these work. When you tie into Google from whatever you're using, normally it can tell by way of all the things that the little data pieces of metadata that go with your link, where you're linking from normally. And so they pull a spot off the shelf, they target it for you, and so you get an ad about your representative, not someone else's. Let's do one more. And this time, see if you can spot the difference between this ad plus the 3 other ads that I played like it and the Barber ad. There's something different about these last 4. See if you can put your finger on it.
Oh, hey. Now, I know what you're thinking. Another ad. But hear me out. Senator Mark Begich says he puts you first, but he votes with Obama 97% of the time. 97%. That's for more spending, more debt. Obamacare? Come on. We have to put up with Obama for 2 more years, but we can fire Begich now. Let's fire Mark Begich. Okay? Here's your video.
Now, did you figure out what was different? Kirkpatrick, it said, stooges for Obama 70% of the time. That first ad I played you. 77% of the time. Pryor, 90%. Hagan, 96%. And Begich of Alaska, 97%. Do you recall what the figure was for Barber? Okay, one more time. Let's listen to the Barber ad.
Oh, hey. Now, I know what you're thinking. Another ad. But hear me out. Representative Ron Barber says he puts you first, but he votes with Obama most of the time. That's for more spending, more debt. Obamacare? Come on.
Obamacare? Come on. Okay? Now, in case you still haven't spotted what I'm driving at, and Mark just did, he popped up, said, ooh, I get it. Yeah, here's the difference. Every ad mentioned a specific figure that it claimed was the percentage of votes aligned with Obama, okay, except Barber. For him, the ad just said most of the time, which, as Mark just astutely pointed out over here off microphone, that can mean anything north of 50%. All 5 of these ads were exactly identical, except for the name of the candidate and the percentages given, and then in the Barber case, the fact that no percentage was given. Even the quotes attributed to the candidate. So-and-so says, he puts you first. Remember that? Those quotes were all identical. So obviously, they were just made up. I mean, they sound reasonable. I mean, you would think the candidate wants to put you first, right? But they were made up. Now, a group calling itself Americans for Prosperity is what's behind these ads. It's a conservative advocacy group headquartered in Virginia. Now, what are the facts? Let's go to an independent nonprofit website called opencongress.org. Here's what it says. Ron Barber votes with his party 76% of the time. As that very first ad that I played you a couple days ago said. Raul Grijalva, 93%. Ann Kirkpatrick, 89%. And for reference, Mark Pryor, 85%, not the 90% claim, but it's a relatively small difference. Hagan, 88, not 96. Begich, 91, not 97. Now, how does that compare to Arizona Republicans? Senator McCain, the so-called maverick, remember him? He's the one that sometimes tells his own party to go stick it in their ear. He votes with his party 81% of the time. Senator Jeff Flake, 82%. What do we say about Ron Barber? 77%, or 76% rather. So when it comes to politicians representing Southern Arizona in Congress, Barber is as close to being the true maverick here as you're going to get. The best you can say about that ad about him is it's misleading. Should that matter to you? Now, I'll say this. If a group that's adopted misleading tactics wants me to vote for someone, I'm inclined to do the opposite. But then again, on the other hand, you have to counterbalance that with the realization that the other side is probably doing the same kinds of things, especially when it comes to attack ads. When you see an attack ad, these days it's likely to be the result of some big political machine that's in whole or in part making crap up, trying to influence you here. So, but the bottom line about the thing that we were talking about, the Barber ad, bottom line there is, if you decide to vote against Barber, which is fine, but if you decide to do it, don't do it just because someone has told you that he's a lapdog for his party. It's simply not true. Of all the Southern Arizona candidates, and I'm counting now the 3 Democratic incumbent congressmen and our 2 incumbent senators that represent the whole state, he is the most independent-minded, and that's the fact.